Y'all think this is a game. I told you. I was being real serious about the PSN code. As you can see on the screen there, I actually will be presenting this tomorrow to the winner of the Death Stranding Metacritic contest. So he'll be getting that. Also, we have another contest coming up. It is the Terminator Resistance giveaway. Now, I have about 200 and some odd subscribers, right? So it'll be $20 gift card if you can guess the Metacritic for this game. I am interested to see what it is. I mean, in lieu of the new movie, I know that movie is probably trash. I like the Terminator game, or the franchise, so at least the first two. I like robots and shit like that, so you'll know. But anyway, we are going to start off this video. Well, basically, this is the day after the Metacritic. It's been a fucking shitstorm on Twitter and everywhere for fanboys and all sorts of shit. But we want to not focus on the actual people, the actual, fanboys and stuff like that. We want to kind of dive into the reviews. I would like to take the main reviews of the Metacritic and try to distill it into something that we could figure out what's going on. You know what I mean? What kind of game this is. And I'm getting it either way. I'll have my thoughts after this. But let's begin. So EGM actually gave it a 5 out of 5. They say, in the end, Death Stranding's biggest mystery isn't any of the elements we have been teased. It's what people are going to think. And it's true. From a man known for making love them or hate them projects, this may end up being one of the most decisive games ever created. Now, let's take a pause about that. I'm going to say straight up and down, right? This is going to be one of those games that are just, so it's going to be, we all know it's going to be divisive. We already know that, but that's what they said. I mean, to me, the rating doesn't really match what he's saying. But to be honest with you, it is exactly what they showed. But you have to experience the game. You have to experience it. There's been some negativity about fetch quests and stuff like that, but I'll get into that later. But that's what EGM said. Nothing really pertinent to that score, to be perfectly honest with you. It was supposedly, Hideo Kojima made good of the money that Sony gave them. That's basically what it stands for. Next is GameSpot. That was 9 out of 10. They say Death Stranding is a hard game to absorb. There are many intertwining threads of this plot, silly names, corny moments, and heavy exposition, right? So at the end of the day, right, they leave off with this statement. They say it's a game that requires patience, compassion, love, and it's one that we really need right now. It is. There are so many action games. There are so many sandbox games. That's based in first-person shooters. That's all we got. And then finally, we get a game that is different, and people don't know how to take it. Not even on a negative tip. Like, they don't even know what to say about the game. They don't know how to feel. And that's a shame. That is an absolute shame. So that's what's going on with this game, or this review. They give it a 9 out of 10 because at the end of the day, it's a very polished game. It is doing something different, and it's not fumbling on what it wants to do or want to be. It's a and we all know Kojima does really silly shit. You know what I mean? We already know that Kojima has really, oh man, that's so fucking corny. I don't know if you guys remember, it was Metal Gear Solid 2 when what the fuck is his name? Otacon was crying because his sister died or whatever, and the way he was crying was so corny. But that shit like that's what you can expect. It's a Hideo Kojima game, and because he created it, that's what we can expect. Destructoid, 8 out of 10. They say Death Stranding is not the overly strange. Oh no! It's not the overly strange, inaccessible walled garden market as made out to be. It's weird, don't get me wrong. But anyone with a surface level understanding of realism and art should be able to acclimate, to be to what is essentially a playable Hollywood production. It is an impressive effort with very few noticeable problems holding it back. It won't astound everyone, but it'll be worth your time and cash, which is a good thing to say. I think people got caught up in the advertisement. You know what I mean? Not to say that they believe the advertisement, but I think that people just don't like his personality, and I think it's affecting the reviews. And I get into that a little bit more. Let's go on to our next review. So we got Game Informer. They say, try as it might, Death Stranding's story doesn't shore up its faults. It's the normal Kojima mix of twists and turns, tropes, and overbearing themes. But at least I like that it explores real-world topics like the theory of multiple dimensions and key elements in the history of the planet's biodiversity. Like Sam himself, I often wasn't sure why I kept going on in Death Stranding. Maybe there was a little bit of pride, or, you could check the box off, or whatever the case is, and it's another well done job, I guess. Unfortunately, this added up to little reward in the end. And I'm going to get into what he's saying before. So basically, it's not throwing numbers in your face. It's not giving you the satisfaction of, oh, I beat this. It's the journey. It's how you get from point A to B. I've been saying this throughout all of my videos. That's what it is. I don't know why this is so difficult for people to understand. You can't just, everyone's so used to these games. But anyway, I'm going to go on to this one because my final thoughts are going to be on there. And we don't got that much to go. IGN, what a piece of shit place, but we will read their shit anyway. 6.8 out of 10. And by the way, they were so thirsty to put out a review, they gave it a 98 out of a 9.8 or some shit like that. Anyway, I will say this. They gave it an 8 or 6.8 out of 10. And one of the reasons why they gave it a 6.8 out of 10 was the fact that I don't think they got exactly what the game was trying to do. I don't think they understood it. I don't think they got it. It is, I've said this before and I'll say it again, it's a hiking game, essentially. They try to, make it more interesting to go from one, point A to B, whereas most games, you just tilt the control or tilt the analog stick and it goes in the direction. There's little thought to moving from place to place. Now you got to think about the type of terrain you have, how heavy you are, and stuff like that. And they go on to say, and this is some other people, and I don't even want to go into the negativities of it all, because I want to get into the thoughts of what of what's going on in my head. So essentially, what was going on with them is they were like, oh, I don't get the storyline. Oh, this is so stupid. They didn't want to give it a chance, and they didn't have an open mind, and they're so used to explosions and, just bombastic types of gameplay. Ever since like the Uncharted and the Gears of War series, everyone's been striving to be like that Hollywood movie. That's what everyone was trying to do. And we finally get a game that is trying to do something different, and they weren't open-minded to it. Yes, in Quantum Theory, it gets real fucking weird, which is what the game is based off of. That's what it is. You know what I mean? Of course, you're going to have some, Kojima elements in there because he fucking created the game. That's his game. I don't know what the difficulty is. I don't get it. So, that being said, I'm just listening to this shit and I'm like, oh, you fucking serious? Are these people really complaining about the type of game it is and not even having an open mind? Like, for instance, in this particular clip, you see her walking on the beach. You know what I mean? She's big as shit. And everybody is like, I don't like that. Oh, what does this mean? Okay. Like I said before, in Quantum Theory, there's a lot of weird shit that goes on in Quantum Theory. And then in terms of the gameplay, people will relegate it, and it's disrespectful to me, not even just Kojima or just the gaming. Oh, it's a giant fetch quest. Oh, it's a giant fetch quest. That's what they say. But you can relegate that to any game. You got first-person shooters Oh, that's all you do is shoot. We all know that Half-Life had other elements in there. You got platforming games. All you do is jump. You know what I'm saying? Or in racing games, all you do is race. Like, it's so ridiculous, the type of stuff that people say. And the funny thing is, I was looking at the IGN review, and it had like a fucking million views. It had 1 million views. So mission accomplished. They've done it. They triggered a whole bunch of people, and they got their views and clicks by putting this stuff out there. Like, I watched it, and I hate to say it, like, they were disrespectful as fuck. They really were. Like, oh, Sony wouldn't allow me to actually show you what they have, the only cool part of the game. Like, they'll say they're only cool, and it's all subjective, by the way. So they blur it out, right? So I'm just gonna show you Sam taking a shower. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, why not actual gameplay? Like, they try to be funny, they try to be cute with it, you know what I'm saying? And just be really obnoxious. You know what I mean? Like, they real hipster, like, you know. And the more they do stuff like this for the immediate clicks, the less credibility they're gonna have when it comes to this shit. All in all, this is what I'm gonna say to end this video off. Death Stranding is a game that is trying something new with traversal. You know what I mean? Whether you want to call it a hiking game or whatever the case is, they're trying something new. They have the social strand system, which is basically a way to communicate with other people, kind of like Journey. You know, and it's funny too, like, how come Journey got away with it? It's because it wasn't a big budget game. You know, Dark Souls, Demon Souls, how come they got away with it? You know, with, you know, having like really weird gameplay and stuff like that. Like, everybody just love those games, but all of a sudden this game, because it's not action packed, they're not feeling this game. It's just, to me, it's ridiculous to me. It was very ridiculous. But anyway, I'm jumping on there. It's an action. It's not an action game at all. You know what I'm saying? You have some light stealth, some combat things that you could add in there. You know what I mean? However way you want to do it. But the point is, it's not an action game. I mean, it's not an action game. It's an adventure game. It's all about the adventure. It's about going from point A to B. There's no need to really review or go into the minutia of what's going on inside Death Stranding, because that's up for you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it is going to be dependent on if you are so used to action games. Do you want to play Death Stranding, you know, at all? If you're so used to, you know, action games or not, or you don't have an open mind, that's what it's going to be. You know, you don't have an open mind, you're most likely not going to like the game. If you don't really care about anything being different, you know, then you're not going to like this game. If you just want fucking explosions and shit like that, then you're not going to like this game. You know, that's just what it's going to boil down to. For the other people that like adventure games and stuff like that, you know, they may like this game. I am going to like this game based off of what I've seen. I don't need a demo. I already know I'm going to like the game. I'm like totally aware of what this game is going to be, and I'm cool with it. I am absolutely cool with it. I know I'm going to be cool with it. I'm going to enjoy this game thoroughly, play it multiple times, and I like the theme of quantum theory and, you know, other dimensions and the mystery of the storyline, because even though I went into the spoiler, the places, I don't know exactly what's going on because it needs context. At the, you know, bottom line, it needs context. So, all in all, really, the Metacritic is only there for if people that kind of tout the Metacritic. They only use it to validate their opinion. That's really what's going on here, you know, or validate their fanboyism, you know. Just play the fucking game, ultimately. You know, it got an 84 out of 100, and that's a damn good score. That is a damn good score. People forgot that. People forgot that that is a high-ass score. And it's only low because I feel like people don't like Kojima. I feel like they don't like his personality, and that's a shame. But let me know in the comments what you liked or disliked about the video. And if you liked it, a sub would be appreciated.